Welcome back, listeners, to Rabbit Hole episode 13.
Cha-ching!
Lucky number 13.
Is it 13? I thought it was 12.
13. Is it 12?
No,
13?
Daniel
No,
was 12. This
Thank
is
God.
13.
Fuck
God.
yeah.
Back with Sam, Ethan, myself, Drew, and Cole. We're going to explain what we're getting into here shortly. We're going to get into the history of it. We're doing a personality episode. And the way we gauged that was through a personality test that we all took prior to getting here.
It's an iteration of the Myers Briggs.
The Myers Briggs.
Is that like the official name of it?
Yeah, so we used a website called 16 Personalities, but this is a Myers Briggs personality test.
We can link it in the
And the
YouTube
results
video.
are in, baby.
Yeah, the results are interesting.
And it says, I don't know. I was going to come up with some kind of joke, but I couldn't.
Well, we're not going to joke about our personality because you're.
Oh, we're going to joke about it.
No, because
I'm going to make fun of you all.
My test said I'm extremely sensitive, so none of you can say anything about me, or I will burst into tears.
My test is actually coming back calling me a pussy, so you actually can't. You
That
can't
says
say shit about
100% pussy.
Yeah.
100% loser. What is this?
We're leaning towards 50% stupid and 80% just stupid.
Yeah, that seems accurate.
Yeah.
Mine just said 100% sweatshirt. That's it.
My test told me to get a personality, so I went out and joined a CrossFit gym, and now that's me.
Are you seeing results?
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of results since this morning, to be honest.
Do you
Is
have
that-
a fit GF yet?
No, I'm actually looking for a
Fit GF. You put it out on Craigslist.
There we go.
I need a fit GF.
I will be at the CrossFit gym on.
It's actually outside. You can do.
I think there's one close by to us, somewhere in Grandview, maybe.
Dude, they're
I'm
everywhere.
looking. Oh, I actually know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Cross
Yeah.
Avenue.
I'm gonna join that
Is that
one.
the green
I
building?
will be there
No,
on Friday.
It's yellow. It's got slashes.
Oh,
yeah.
right on the corner.
Yep.
Okay.
You know the one.
Yep. Yeah, mine actually came back with 7 personalities. I'm not sure if that's a flaw of the system, but I took it and it 7. Got 7 results. Not sure what's going on.
Do they each have a different name?
They all go by Jeffrey.
Ooh.
Even the version of you who is Sam.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm kind of like a new personality now.
So
That's
we're
pretty
going to have to
tight.
like rebrand because we
It's
have
just a new person.
Ethan, Sam, and Drew.
And
everywhere,
Jeff.
And Cole.
My name's Jeff.
So now we need to add 7 Jeffs.
Exactly, dude.
Okay.
Should I
Honestly, it was a
break-
pretty difficult test to
Yeah.
take, in my opinion. While taking it, it's because you wanted to take it as serious as possible and try to answer as truthfully as you can. But does the test take into account personal bias? And I don't think it can ever really truly measure the amount of bias that goes in based off of your perception of who you are, how you interact with people, what your diagnosis already is of yourself. And you might just be filling out what you like or feel that you already are, rather than getting in it. Is it just
That is your
relaying?
personality.
I guess, yeah. That it kind of gets into a philosophical question on how you like measure yourself.
It's
Yeah.
Is it
well, that's just
What
perception.
you want yourself to
Yeah.
be,
Yeah.
or is it what you truly are?
I think at that moment in time, if you take it, like I was saying, I think the big thing with me that was changing, and we'll get into it, had subcategories, and we both kind of had the opposite ones. That's where I noticed in like 5 years of me changing, I switched in that regard. But I feel like you generally really have the same views the whole time. But yeah, I know what you mean. I don't know what I'm trying to get at either, but
And can you even stop your own bias from playing a role?
I don't think you
ultimately?
can. I mean, like, yeah,
No.
you could try to like trick the test
system.
and like be like,
And
but
get
like,
what you want.
who gives a fuck? Like, imagine like somebody tells you that they're like one of the 16 personality types, and you're like, oh, dude, that's so sick compared to being just like the one that you are.
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
like cheating on your like mile fitness test, saying you did 3 laps instead of 4.
Yeah, and
Like,
also like
do you have to
everybody's
gain?
gonna know, like, if you have one of the personalities that just doesn't fit you, they're gonna be
Exactly.
like, that's just like
Yeah,
not
that's
true.
That was going to be my point, is that like ultimately if your perception of yourself is very different than what you actually are, like someone will know.
Yeah.
Or
Well, that
someone
means
will at least
something's
call
wrong
you-
with you.
Yeah,
There's
that
probably
could
a
be.
diagnosis
Yeah, that might
comes
be like
after
something
that.
with like narcissism or
Yeah.
something along those lines. But I think ultimately, once you're done taking your test and you start reading, especially in this test, you're like,
Yeah, this
I'm
makes
fitting
sense.
in pretty
Yeah,
well
puzzle
with what
piece.
they're saying.
Puzzle pieces right now.
So I guess,
sliding in perfect.
but yeah, Cole, if you wanna
I'd
give
love
a
to
little
break
background
down the
on
history.
this brig or
I will say before you start that, it's stupid as fuck if you take this test and like lie about it. Like, why take the test to begin with? What do you have? What do you have
Yeah.
to gain?
Yeah, and I'd also like to preface that the way that I see it is that like it's the same as like a horoscope. Like human beings kind of take what they will from it, and the shit that they like, they'll accept that, and the stuff in there that they don't think like flows or like I can't think of the word.
It doesn't fit you in
the
a
stuff that
box.
fit. Yeah, the things that fit
yeah.
your personality that you don't think like actually apply to you, you'll just be like next, and like you just won't even take that in.
But it is shocking. The results, I will say, were like, this is a little scary.
Yeah,
how
very
close
accurate.
it is.
And the reason it's so scary
Here we go.
is because Catherine Cook Briggs and her husband, Clarence Myers, they
Catherine.
were very
Shout out
intrigued with
Catherine.
the writings of Carl G. Jung, I hope I'm saying that right, and his 1921 book, Psychological Types. And so they wanted to make his concepts more widespread and readily available to the public. And following World War II, they believed that if there was a type indicator, then everyone would understand each other better and there would be less conflict in the world.
Wouldn't
So,
that be beautiful?
Yeah.
If everybody fucking lived by this
I mean,
shit.
it's an absolute pipe dream. Like,
I can't. It's a beautiful fucking idea. I think this test exists in nothing but positive ways, but obviously you take it with a grain of salt if you fucking want to. But
It would be so cool if everybody was just walking around with like a badge that says, "Hey,
INFP.
Yeah.
I'm INFPT.
Yeah.
Treat me as such, or die."
I'm a pussy. Don't be mean to me.
I mean,
Yeah.
we should all strive to understand each other.
Oh, without
more.
a doubt.
And also just like other cultures and, whatnot.
You all shouldn't. I don't think you should treat somebody just because,
No,
just
it
to
was
fit their personality.
thought.
I know, but yeah, I think it'd be strange.
That's like kind of how your personality even forms.
yeah, exactly.
Is literally how people treat you based on your personality.
There you go.
But so 41 years after C.G. Jung's book comes out, in 1962, Catherine and Clarence released their book, which was called Introduction to Type. And, from 62, continuing through the most recent iteration in 2019, it's just been updating. And with the invention of the internet, there's a lot of crazy websites out there that give you access to the Myers Briggs test. But there's also a Myers Briggs company where you can pay to have a very in-depth and total explained version of
That sounds
your
like a
personality
cult
trait.
somehow.
We should do
Hey,
that.
hey, you get this level, you pay for this tier. We tell you a little bit more about yourself. We know you more than you know yourself.
We will
Keep
clone
paying
you.
up the ladder.
Well, they do have that on here. It's like the premium account,
Yeah.
or whatever.
It's the same
Probably
kind of
just-
thing.
I'm not saying they are that, but it sounds
Yeah,
like
no, I get what
Let's
you're
it's
saying.
interesting.
I'll look on the premium. What do you get with the premium profile? I'll look. If you
Well,
have
definitely
anything.
at the end of this 16 personality ones, I was reading it and they were like, and obviously you can do more research finding out how other personalities like your own have navigated this crazy life.
Yeah.
And by paying
More insight.
this amount, you can understand how to navigate your crazy world.
It's like a life coach.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
All right, I'll break down the actual specifics of the test though. So, the Myers-Briggs test explains a personality through 4 opposing personality functions known as either dichotomies, preferences, or scales. And it's extroverted versus introverted, which is kind of like your energy. Sensing versus intuition, which is how you take in information. Thinking versus feeling, which is your decision making. And then judging versus perceiving, which is how you organize your environment. And then this creates 16 different personality traits that a person can possess.
And I will say, if you do it on the 16 personalities, it's different, but it's not different at the same time. It's kind of generally the same, just different words, I guess you could say.
What do you mean?
You get 5 categories on 16 personalities rather than 4. like how Myers Briggs is, like the official one. And you have introvert, extrovert, intuitive, observant, thinking, feeling, judging, prospecting, and then assertive and turbulent for 16 personalities. So it's going to be a little different than Myers Briggs, but at the end of the day, I think
It gets
generally the
the
same.
It still gives us our
shit.
letter thing, which is the most important part.
Get that alphabet, baby. Those alphabet letters.
All right, the moment we've all been waiting for. Drew, what's your personality trait?
Oh, Jesus. Should I just like go down the 4?
Yeah, and if you need help, I can also just
Let
kind
me-
of dissect all
Okay,
this shit.
so I am INFPT, which means introverted, intuitive. What's the third one?
Feeling.
Feeling. I lean feeling. It was like 51-49. P is perspective versus
prospecting, which I think is pretty
prospecting
good.
versus judging.
Or
Yeah.
assertiveness.
Yeah, it's kind of
Sure.
your decision making.
And then the last one.
No, that one is how you organize the environment. Thinking versus feeling is decision making.
Okay.
Oh,
And
I
then
don't
what
have
was the
that on
last one
mine.
again, Ethan?
I don't
Because
have
you
that
told
on
me.
So this is
Well, I
how
know, I
mine
did the
broke
research.
down.
Sure.
I know, but like
I have all the answers.
on this website, it's completely
Yeah.
different.
Well,
Okay,
from
I'm
this
just going to
web-
stop fucking with this shit and we'll just do it right off the website.
Yeah. From the website,
Throwing everything
there's
out the window.
If you look at Myers Briggs, though, it's the same. It's generally the same shit. But I don't know. I don't know why. I think they may break it down more specifically in here. Rather than that, I don't fucking know. But yeah, I have tactics, prospecting, judging as decision making.
This is terrible by me. I've failed you guys.
I don't want to make it confusing for people listening.
Yeah,
so we should
I
just
know.
explain
Okay, yeah.
like what's going on in front of our faces.
But I think I like the the Myers Briggs one. That's a very like pay to get cloned,
Pay to play, baby.
pay to play, find out about you, what you don't or already know. So, but this is a little more free.
Yes.
Ethan would describe it as not free, but
Yeah, you
That's
still have
another-
to pay in some fashion. Well, the way you described it to me today
Yeah.
is that you had to sign up with an email address, and to me, that's still you pay with a certain amount of data that you give the website.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's neither here nor there.
yeah.
Not really
We were
important at
discussing
all.
about it before.
If we wanted to break down how exactly the website organized the results just before we went in, there's the mind, which is either introverted or extroverted, your energy or your mental energy, which is either observant and intuitive, your nature or how you cope with your emotions is based off of feeling or thinking, like you're either feeling things out or you're thinking, or based on how you
your
feel.
heart or your head.
Tactics, which deal with work, planning, and decision making. That's either prospecting or perceiving, or the assertive versus judgment thing. And then there's identity, which is confidence and abilities and decisions, which can either be turbulent or assertive. And you know what? I might have just made this podcast mad redundant because I feel like we already kind of summarized it, but that is the breakdown of the chart.
Yeah. So, like I was saying, I'm gonna forget again.
INFP.
INFP-T, which is the same one as Ethan.
Big.
And almost the same exact one as Sam minus the
'Cause
last one.
I'm the
'cause you're
assertiveness.
assertive and not turbulent.
Yeah.
And it's almost the exact same one as me, except that I'm ENFP.
Which
We-
means
he
we
just
got an
likes-
extrovert over
He likes
here.
people. We don't. I mean, we like
Do you guys
people,
think it would
but-
be cool to like go down the list here and I guess define what we see as introverted and extroverted, what we define as being observant, intuitive, and give examples and how we definitely fall into what we
like
fall
live
into?
our lives by it?
Yeah.
You just
I'm
go
down.
around a circle.
Self-analysis, I'm down. We can go by each category.
All right, so mind. We know that Sam, I, and Drew, or Drew, Sam, and I are introverted. Cole is extroverted.
Mm-hmm.
An example of how I feel that I am definitely introverted is I fucking love my alone time. I need alone time to
Yes.
decompress, and if I don't get it, then you get a different version of me in public, and it's probably very apparent. Alone time is where I get a lot of my own work done, and it's just more conducive to a hardworking environment for me. I can't have distractions. But when the distractions are there, that's where I see it's a little interesting for me because I'm introverted and I yearn for that alone time. But that also makes the times in public even more special in a way.
Being around people.
Which is why it's cool to see that there's a percentage. I'm 61% introverted and 39% extroverted. So there is a piece of me that is extroverted.
You're 39%.
39
extroverted?
extroverted, 61% introverted.
Okay.
And like it's cool because I definitely do feel more introverted than extroverted, but it's interesting because I have less of it, and in that way I almost like value it a
More.
certain way.
Yeah.
But also, it's not. We can keep going around the circle.
No, I 100% agree. I think I can speak for the fact that I could sit at home all day and find just as much enjoyment out of doing. I mean, even sitting here, like, even though this is kind of being extroverted, is it like I'm in my own fucking home? This is beautiful. I love this, but
You're with your friends.
exactly. But I don't know. I'm a homebody. I like staying at home, doing shit at home. But at the same time, it's a healthy balance of not being too introverted to the point like you're fucking isolating yourself.
There's nothing wrong with that, though. If
No,
that's
I
what
don't think
you
there is
need.
anything. But it can be unhealthy.
Yeah.
I think it can be taken the wrong way, and I think
Yeah, and we'll get into like strengths and weaknesses
Yeah.
later of all the types, but that's obviously one of them.
yeah.
To your point about being around your friends, it's and I was doing the reading after getting my initial result. It one of the main, or not main tenets, because I mean we're going through the main tenets, but one of these side notes, a general fact about INFP. Doesn't really matter if it's a T or an A at that point, but INFPs are around friends way more comfortable.
Yeah.
And you see your own true self really come out around your best friends. Whereas, I mean, that it deals right into this introverted versus extroverted thing. Like when you're around a multitude of people that you don't know, that you're not comfortable with, you're not going to be
Yourself.
exactly yourself.
Yeah. I think that's everybody. But some people, I will say,
Cole's an E.
Yeah, you are an
How do you
extrovert.
see yourself being an extrovert?
I just love meeting new people and talking to people, I guess. And like, don't get me wrong, I love I like to be by myself. This is a lonely world. If you can't be by yourself, then you will drive yourself insane. But I mean, just like, I don't know. There's been a lot of times where I'm out in the world doing my thing, and it's it's fruitful to interact with new people.
I can think of plenty of times where that was the case. But I just wanted to go back real quick. I just wanted to ask what your percentage was.
I was 55% introvert, 45% extrovert.
Okay, and Ethan was 61.
Yeah,
61
and
to
I would say
39.
I don't know though, because I feel like it's a day-to-day basis. I can very fluctuate. It fluctuates.
Because for
a
me,
lot.
I found myself pretty in the middle on most of these questions, and I was like 52-48 introvert. But for me, it's like based on the day,
Exactly.
which could literally just be like fucking bipolar or something.
Like I said,
but like it literally like I feel sometimes like I'm so ready to go and meet new people and like have those experiences with new people.
And then you're like, I just want to jerk off in bed.
Instead of bipolar, a different perspective would just be almost just the opposite, balance. Like you're both.
Yeah.
You can comfortably find yourself in both scenarios.
Yeah,
which
I guess
honestly is a fucking superpower.
Oh
in a
well, I
way.
was just using it as as a way to say like it's how I wake up on one side of the bed or not. Like if I'm feeling like I want, if I'm like having a good day, it does seem like if I am having a better day, I feel more extroverted.
Then you want to meet new people, which makes sense.
Because I'm in a better mood.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I feel like I'm more willing to talk to people who I don't know.
But if you have a shitty day, you're just like, fuck these
But yeah,
people.
I mean, I leaned introvert, which
Leaned
makes
introvert.
sense to me. So when I saw
Barely.
that, barely.
2%. 2% margin.
Mhm.
I guess before we go any further, like a level above like INFP and T and A and Cole's E, NFP, T and A, we all got assigned like an overall title. For our thing.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
So us three are mediators. We're mediators defined as poetic, kind, altruistic, or eager to help a good cause.
That's Sam, Ethan, and me.
Yes.
And Drew.
So specifically to 16 personalities, they called this my personality trait the campaigner. And it's creative, charismatic, and independent, curious, shit like that.
That
Kind of the
that
same.
seems to check some boxes. Yeah.
Generally the same, but
Generally just insane person.
Yeah.
But you-
maybe that's what it is.
It's just so cool that they break it down so many levels. It's just tree branches of these different types of things that you could just possibly be. But at the end of the day, it could be something different the next day.
Yeah,
It's all a mindset.
it is.
And I will say that I think the section, not to rub it in your face, Cole, but the mediators were the rarest group. So
I'm
Did say that.
7%.
I think we're both pretty rare.
Just kidding.
Over here.
but I think we're rare.
Dude, you understand
I
that
think
we're
we're
like ours are pretty much the exact
Yeah, I
same
know.
thing. It just
I think we're rare though.
I think
I don't want to
that's
get this into an argument.
Well,
I think we're more
let's
rare.
just take into account that there's 3 of you and 1 of me, so this is a 75.
Who's the rarer one, right?
25. Literally just out
You're
of
the rarer
our
one.
very small.
We'll see
But
after.
there is something to that. There's that's a reason why we're doing this podcast. It's the reason why we're all friends. We just fucking we're on a similar wavelength.
Yeah, we
in a way.
jive with each other well.
Yeah. Big jive.
Yeah, we click.
So-
Did you have? Hold on. Did
Oh,
you
yeah.
have your percentages?
So I only have I didn't.
Think you screenshotted
save
one or
it. I have
something?
one screenshot and it's only for this one.
Perfect.
What was it?
And let me pull it up real quick.
We can make up.
I was
other
just curious
percentages.
because since us 3 do have the same, I was wondering like
How we check
Yeah.
out.
how
You
we
gotta have
compare.
some differentiation
Yeah.
here because it'd be
Since we
boring
are-
if we're all the same.
Yeah.
It
damn
is
thing.
funny though. Like you're all the way on the one side. I'm kind of in the middle of between you
Yeah.
and Drew.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell. I think that's the coolest part. Is like you can tell that you go out a little bit more than but you go out more than me. I
There's
think
so
he's
much
so
more
sure.
to
Yeah, there's so many
There's
more
just
factors.
so much
Yeah,
more to
I'm
this.
just trying to break it down, but like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Cole, what were you just about to? You were
Oh,
priming up to say something.
67% extroverted,
Damn.
33% introverted.
Fuck you.
You
wish I could
love
meet people.
I do love people. I love
Dude.
you.
I love you too, man.
Which is
Thanks.
something I always feel like I want to work on too, because who knows who you might meet that day is just takes you on a whole fucking journey. It makes
That's
you
what I'm
think about
saying,
butterfly effect. If you don't jump at opportunities or jump at different relationships, you don't know what could be different 10 years down the road.
It's huge for networking too.
Yeah.
Like
That's
Without a
because
doubt.
literally, like, I mean, we're.
Dude,
here
I
doing
also
a
just
podcast,
love
but-
like literally like the interactions that are just like a blip in like
Yeah.
the grander scheme of things. Like literally for like one fleeting moment, you take in something from a new person and then you could never see them again. And it's like that will always be instilled in you. Whatever. I mean, it could literally just be something subconscious.
Or it's
that you
during like
take away
some
from
like
it.
semi-blackout and you forget it the next day.
Yeah.
I'm
But
extroverted.
I'm just joking.
extroverted, but I really don't remember any of the conversations because I'm always drunk.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean you're not
extroverted
extroverted at that
alcoholic.
point.
Yeah, there should be an asterisk for,
Dude,
for that.
that's an extra layer to it. Is like, can your
That's-
levels change based if you have a certain drug in you?
That's
Where we take this
That's
test
my
next.
48% right there, dude.
Dude.
Yeah, that's where the
Drunk
extra
and
fucking 2% margin
whatnot.
is.
No, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Everybody's generally more lubricated socially with
Yeah.
the alcohol.
Yeah, it's the liquid courage, man.
Yeah,
without
dude.
a doubt.
So
Take a sippy.
We should take this on a bunch of different drugs, like crack, meth. see what
changes
happens.
everything.
well,
Yeah.
it probably would change a few answers, but I don't know.
I feel like you would generally live your life the same way if
Yeah.
you're on crack.
You would like to think. Well, I don't know. I don't think you do. You would not live the life the same way.
I mean, in
There's
that
a-
moment, if crackhead's a different thing. If I'm string me out on crack for a month and then throw me in this test, I might have a different complete. I may be schizophrenic by then.
You
Yeah.
could have any experience and that could happen.
Exactly.
But if it's crack, then so be it.
Crack may change my personality completely, so I think we try it.
Yeah.
And then we change this whole show around. Then it's 3 dudes and a crackhead.
Sure, dude.
That gets views.
It has to.
The next level down below mind is how you use your energy mentally, and that's either observant or intuitive. I broke down on the intuitive side pretty convincingly, I'd say. It was a 91 to 9%.
Jesus.
Observant
heavy,
was
dude.
9 and intuitive was 91. So I guess how I break things down in my mind is way more using my own instinctual.
Can
like-
I read it? The
Yeah,
description
yeah,
for
yeah.
you?
If you have it, like, because I'm freeballing.
Intuitive
here.
individuals are very imaginative, open-minded, and curious. They prefer novelty over stability. You fucking love your novelty stuff. You hold on to everything, so it makes sense. I think that's what it's going for.
I don't
Prefer
use novelty in
over
the same way
stability,
as that.
Focus on hidden meanings and future possibilities. I don't know. Maybe it's not talking about novelty in that way.
I don't think novelty of receipts is the reason why I keep receipts. I think that's a totally different.
I meant just
situation.
anything.
I know, but receipts. My room is filled with receipts.
Really?
And I don't think
How tall
the
are we
reason why I
talking?
hoard these things is because of novelty. For sure, some things I keep because of novelty, but I feel like there's a fine line drawn there. But yeah, intuitive over observant. So I use my own imagination before I use what I observe someone else doing to get to an end, to find means to get to an end. So I find I don't know. I actually don't know. That's how I break it down in my head.
You can read, once again, we'll link it probably most likely in the YouTube video. I mean, we can't link it in the Spotify, obviously.
Can you? I don't want to like.
Dude, you just Google search
16 personalities is what it's called, .com.
I feel like if you maybe tried to break it down like a little bit easier to understand, it would be like taking things on its surface level versus like maybe
That's a good.
thinking of it deeper.
Here,
Maybe
I'll put
not. I don't know. I don't want to like sound like it's
There's
better
some-
to be intuitive because it's not.
There's some
but-
percentages on here, which is cool. I think I like how they set up this website. I'll just pull some percentages really quick. 91% of those with the intuitive trait say they like to discuss different views and theories of what the world could look like in the future, compared to 55% of those.
Dude, and that's
with the
where
observant trait.
I find myself so much recently just thinking about the future. Like, I'm so consumed
with
about what the fuck's
going
going to happen. And we actually had this debate at their apartment the other night where we're like, at your very moment right now, your psyche, would you decide to live forever or die? And if I take my mind right now and how consumed I am with how things are going to be in the future, very well knowing of these parables and stories about why it's so much worse to live forever than to die. There's no finality. You'll drive yourself insane, blah, blah, blah. I'm very aware of those things, but if I take my psyche right now and all the life events that have lived up to this point and what interests me and where I'm consumed right now, I think I would I would want to live forever, knowing that I'm going to regret it infinity years from now. But I still don't care because I want to know if we go interplanetary, go intergalactic, if we are
on Mars,
which I do think not the only civilization. I think we're one of many, if infinity truly is infinity. Now we're going this. I mean, this
It's
is
just
rabbit
big
hole.
picture.
This is rabbit hole. This
It
is
is-
the podcast right now.
I
but
think what you're getting at is big
I'm thinking
picture.
of the future.
You're thinking big picture rather than now.
I'm thinking of the future.
Yeah.
Dude, I
So
think
that's
it's
cool to hear
a
that that's what
curse.
intuitive is.
Living forever is an absolute curse.
I'm aware of those stories too, and I know them. And there's even probably been a point in my life beforehand where I'm like, I get it. I'd rather die than live forever. But it's something about right now in the climate we're in, and on this precipice of technology and things starting to seem possible. It's just so interesting. I just want to know.
I think
I'm
what
so
makes
curious.
the thing that makes life so beautiful is the finite amount of time that you're given to do something extraordinary or do nothing.
I also think there's.
I mean, it's not like I'm ever gonna live forever, so I had to come to terms with that.
But you might.
It was just.
Who knows? Freeze me. I'm Walt Disney, dude. Put my head on
my
ice.
head.
In
baby.
the theoretically proposed question, I would agree with you. I think in my mind, I would also say I would rather be immortal. At least right now. That could obviously change.
Right
But
now.
right
Exactly.
now,
Like
yeah.
now. Like if I had to make a decision, split-second decision right now, and I'd take all things into account up to this moment, who knows? A year from now, it could be the opposite.
It's
Yeah,
kind of
but
like
you'd be
like-
immortal. You couldn't change at that point.
I know.
True, but in
But
this
I'm
hypothetical, if it was
knowing
asked
I'm
later.
living with that decision. Like I'm saying, I've thought it through.
you have to
and
come to terms with
I'm
it.
coming to terms, dude.
Yeah.
I'm coming to terms.
Now-
and one other thing that I was reading about after I took the test was like one of our weaknesses in our type of personality is being overwhelmed, and I feel like I do always feel that overwhelming sense. And if we're talking about that kind of stuff, that is overwhelming to like think about the things that aren't fixed yet or that like
We don't
have
know
yet-
about.
Yeah, obviously. There's so much unknown
I
shit
mean,
out
yeah,
there. But that is just so overwhelming. And to have like some sort of solace of an answer would feel better to me.
And I want to say that, dude, take psychedelics. Like,
To me,
no, I'm just saying anybody listening. Take fucking shrooms. and you'll realize that this shit is just.
Or don't, and you can
Or
still come to
don't,
that
and
same
yeah,
conclusion.
You can.
I think we just displayed what it is to be intuitive with that discussion right there, and I think we all broke down as intuitive on the scale, right?
Yeah.
Where we all have the N. And
Yeah, because you were the.
I'm
You were-
intuitive.
He's
You were
the
still
only
intuitive,
difference
right?
was the
Everything
extrovert.
from here
You
on
were
out,
just
we're the
we're
same. We're literally all the same.
It's same, but different.
Are you
Yeah.
A?
Dude, the T's and the A's is not really. It's like not that big of a deal.
It's like a subcategory.
It's
of
like a
whatever.
total subcategory.
I will say.
We'll get
okay,
to T and A.
So another percentage, 88% of those with intuitive traits say they spend a lot of time thinking about what if, which is what you're
I
saying.
know that one of
Yeah,
my
shit.
weaknesses in ENFP is overthinking. Kind of similar to being
It's being overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like overwhelmed, but I definitely overthink things. Like I know a lot of the questions in there were like, do you think about like your first impressions on people, like, or like do you look back on things that you said to someone like years later? And like, dude, I do that
Yeah.
almost every day.
That's
Yeah, so
keeping
do
you
I.
up at night, dude.
It is keeping me up at
And
night.
you're just like, did I? And I think I've gotten to the point. That's why it's cool to know my results now, because I think before I would have really given a fuck, like my first impression on people. But now it's kind of like I don't care. But I think that comes with the introvert part of it as well, where I'm like, I don't really care if I meet new people. So why do I really care what their first impression of me is?
I care so much.
Maybe.
And I don't
I'm
care.
not saying this is you. I'm just saying
Mhm.
this might be a way that breaks down for some people where they do care a shit ton about what people think of them.
Yeah.
That's why they are inside all the time, because they don't want to deal with the overwhelming feelings
Yeah.
being intuitive people or whatever it was, INFPTs or fuck. But yeah, they'd rather just stay inside
And
than
I think,
deal with that
yeah,
shit.
and I think that's dude, that sounds just. I hope everybody gets to the point where they're comfortable, regardless of like what the fuck, who they are, what they look like maybe some sort of disability, something like that. To the point like you shouldn't be sacrificing, you shouldn't be living life essentially sad all the time just because of this one.
I think people just
flaw.
come to live with it, though. They don't
Yeah.
necessarily have to be sad about it.
No,
That's
but
what
I
the
think there are
personality
people-
type is.
yeah.
Like, it could be unchangeable for people, and I haven't found a solution to it because I overthink that shit all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
But, and I honestly, too, like, the times that I've, like, greened out or anything, I think it's
Greened
actually
out.
due to that kind of thing. Like, when I have, like, an anxiety attack or
Oh, it
anything
just
like
builds
that,
on it.
it's
Yeah.
the buildup of that exact thought of, like, people just know that I'm like freaking out and like I don't know what they're thinking of me.
Well,
And then it just like tumbles.
He
and
thinks
it's
I'm
like-
high, dude. He thinks I'm high. I'm high.
Dude, anxiety attacks are the ultimate roller coaster ride, honestly. Like, they
Crazy.
suck, but dude, like, yo, you feel insane.
Yeah.
It's weird, like
That high,
It's
baby.
It's crazy how
it's
you
not
get
sick.
like physical symptoms from what's going on mentally. Like you
Yeah.
start to breathe, hyperventilate, like
Your stomach
heart
gets sick.
palpitations, all this stuff, loss of balance or dizziness.
Cold sweats.
Dude,
It's
I, like,
weird how
vibrate.
something
Yeah, it's
mental, like physically manifests itself. It's fascinating.
Can you turn that part of your brain off? I feel like I can definitely deal with certain situations good enough where that doesn't happen, but there's other situations that I don't experience enough that I really don't think I can build that type of demeanor where I'm like, oh, okay, like I'm just gonna kind of brush this to the side. But I'm curious if no matter what, you're always gonna feel that way. You're always gonna have
there's
those
basic
thoughts.
truths of what you are, and I also think that there's ways that you can strengthen and build your mind when you listen to people. Like, I've been having this kick of listening to like Navy SEALs talk on Rogan's podcast, and the way they break things down and the mental fortitude that they build over time and how they can train their mind to beat their biggest weaknesses. So in a way, they're the opposite of what they truly are deep down because they have trained their mind to defeat or
The
actively
weaknesses,
work against
yeah.
them.
The
It's like
weaknesses.
stoicism,
essentially.
dude. It's like you wake up every day and you go to battle with your own consciousness and you win. You be stronger than you are and you try to be a better person every day. But yeah,
Day by
it's
day,
like,
baby.
like, I don't know, like you can do breathing exercises, you can work out, you can eat healthy, but also a lot of it is like what you were saying, like training your brain to think in a certain way, like not negatively think of yourself. Like positive thinking. Like that sounds so obvious, but like that's
You got to take a
real
positive
thing.
out
I
of
feel
everything.
like the training is in the working out, in the breathing exercises. That is the training. That's how you get
or
better.
what like you're doing and watching like how people work, like in podcasts or just like whoever you want to watch that has some kind of thing that you admire about how they think and how they go about
And like some people
overcoming those problems.
Some people can see like, I guess this is kind of different from what you're saying, but it goes along with it. Like somebody that's like successful, like you admire,
Yeah.
you can either see that as like motivation to like be better, or you can be like, wow, like this person is so good at what they do. Like I'll never like accumulate to like that. And then like if you think like that, then like you're
It's
fucked from the
negative.
start. Yeah.
You need to, regardless of what it is, and I was thinking about this when you're doing this, or when I was doing the test, was regardless, and you're always moving forward. You need to think, regardless of a mistake, you're always moving forward. It's for some sort of purpose that failing, you need to stop looking at failures as failing. You need to look at it as progressing. And that's a very big leap to get to, but you need to wrap your mind around, like, if I fail, like, it's not because I'm shitty at what I do. It's just part of what the fuck's happening.
It's the only way to learn is through failure.
Exactly. And you're not going to progress without it. And I'll say on this website, Jean-Luc Picard, which is Star Trek dude, right? That's
He was.
what did he play?
I'm gonna fucking speak out of knowledge here because I'm not too sure, but he comes after who's the original leader of like the Stargate? He's
What's his character name though? Do you know his character name?
Captain Kirk?
Captain Kirk. Okay.
I don't even watch Star Trek.
I know you got it.
He said things are only impossible until they're not, which is 100% true.
What a quote.
I don't know what it's from, but I think it's from fucking Star Trek. But
Maybe
It
he
must
just
be.
said
It's
it in
from
real
Jean-Luc Picard.
life.
maybe he said it in real fucking life. I don't know. Star Trek: The Next Generation. I don't know if that
There you
means.
go.
All right, should we move on to the next?
Yeah,
Yeah, we've been talking about
We
this
got
quite a bit.
nature, and that's how you cope with your emotions based off of like what's going on around you. And you can either be a thinking or based off of what you're feeling.
I think this is
Is it like
a
your
harder
gut?
head.
Yeah, your
harder.
gut.
We're
or
all
your,
feeling, right?
Yeah, I'm 56
Barely.
to 44.
Yeah,
feeling
mine was
overthinking.
also barely.
I'm 51-49. I assume you're 51-49.
Yep, exactly.
I don't have my percentages, but I feel so much.
I think
never
you-
think.
I think as an extrovert, you come with the feeling. You come with
Yeah.
the heart rather than the head kind of feeling.
Well, I don't know. I definitely like think about things. and,
Well, I would
like,
hope so.
I
would
love,
hope so.
you know, like I'd be chilling and like thinking about things sometimes.
Just
But
chilling.
feeling is so easy to be an emotional human being.
Feeling is undeniable.
You
Like
don't-
you feel sad, you feel happy, you feel in love, and those are undeniable feelings. Thinking is almost like you're going through arithmetic in your head over whatever it is to get to a point where you like
calculating.
Oh, I'm see where it's like feeling. Oh, I feel sad. If you're a thinker, you get to a point where it's like, oh, I think I'm like depressed. Where sadness is almost a symptom of it. Like, and if you're just going off of gut feeling, and that's a very absolute example. That's not to say everybody that's sad. That doesn't mean that you're depressed. Depression is sadness, prolonged sadness over time. That's like chronic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, therefore I am.
I think feeling just happens.
Yeah.
Thinking
Feeling is
you think about
undeniable.
it. You don't have to think about your feeling.
But you
It just
might
fucking
might
happens.
arrive at a conclusion about your feelings
Exactly,
through
yeah.
what you think, which could
Yeah.
lead you astray, or it could lead you to the right place.
But I also think in the moment when you feel that way, there's no doubt about how you feel.
I think.
Yeah,
for
that's
this,
like an absolute.
That's an
intuitive
absolute 100%. But when you're
feeling.
thinking, like, I mean, we've all struggled with it probably, is overthinking. You just fucking lose sleep over some stupid shit you said 8 months ago
Yeah.
to somebody you'll never see in your life again. And I guess that's a big part of overthinking, is like
I think for
digging
this
yourself
one,
a hole.
for thinking and feeling, I think it's my own personal opinion, and this is like not to pass judgment on anybody who has a certain score out there, whether they lean a shit ton towards feeling or lean a shit ton towards like thinking. I think, therefore I feel that it's best to be, this might be the best category to be towards the middle in.
100%.
Yeah.
If you have a healthy mix of these things, then I don't want to say you can't go wrong.
But it's almost like
But-
you're more of an outcast in like this category, if you are on either side, it's very apparent.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's like it's a really important category because it does play into like the decisions that you make in life. It's like, are you going to think logically and be very rational and very meticulous with what you're doing, or are you going to just
let it go,
let it
fly.
rip
for
on
it.
your emotions and like whatever you just instinctually feel in that moment is like what you're gonna do.
And this one literally, it like defines balance. Like the two of them together define
need
what
the yin and
balance
yang.
is within
Yeah.
yourself.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do think once again, day to day. I mean, and
Yeah,
and
definitely.
every situation is different. Sometimes you literally just need to fucking jump with 2 feet into whatever you want to do. Sometimes you do need some logical thinking, and then once again that goes back to the balance. You need that healthy mix of that heart and brain. So,
There's a Bo Burnham song, the Left vs. Right Brain song,
Yes.
that kind of is a good summary, I guess, for that. If you want to check that out,
it
all
is.
you holes.
I have some. Did we? Okay, I guess you didn't have percentages. I'll say I think we're mostly middle, right? I would say you're mostly in the
Dude,
middle.
I don't know. I feel like I make so many mistakes that are just based off of me doing like an irrational thing in the moment. But at the same time, like, yeah, I do make a lot of
Yeah.
logical decisions.
It's a healthy mix.
But even like we said, you could be making a lot of mistakes, but then what's the only way to get fucking better is
By making
to
mistakes,
fucking
through
fail,
failure.
baby.
Yeah.
You gotta fucking fail.
you
You gotta.
a percentage, 65% of those with the feeling trait say they mostly listen to their hearts when they make important choices, compared to 7% of those with the thinking trait. These are all very obvious. I mean, thinking, feeling it's pretty easy to understand. I don't know if I have a quote in here. I don't have a fucking quote.
Well, the next level down, I think, intertwines. I mean, they all intertwine with each other, but this one I think plays a huge factor with the one before, and it's tactics and how you go about work planning and decision making, and that actively goes into what we were just talking about. What you make decisions at and how you operate in life sets you down a path. And a lot of your path and in life is your work, and your planning and where you take yourself. It's between prospecting or perceiving, and assertive / judgment.
We were all P's, right?
Yep.
Cole
I
P.
was 76-24.
Prospecting individuals are very good at improvising and spotting opportunities. They tend to be flexible, relaxed, nonconformists who prefer keeping their options open. So I'd say just somebody who fucking lives their life day to day, and if an opportunity arises, they'll jump at it.
Mhm.
But it's
Yeah.
kind of like they're not going to seek an opportunity. It's kind of like,
Yeah, you're prospecting. You're
Yeah.
kind of sitting back. You're kind of just casting your line out,
Yeah.
and you're just, let's see
What
what's
the
gonna
fuck's
I'm
gonna
gonna find that
happen?
crack, and I'm gonna jump right through it.
Yeah, and
That's
I
it.
connect with this one, I think, like the most, because I've gotten like a ton of flack, I feel like, in my personal life for not having a list or a schedule for something or
yeah.
something or another, like just like several times throughout my life, and it's like bit me in the ass like plenty of times. But that's something that will not change about me whatsoever. I feel like
Yeah.
I go
Yeah.
literally day to day in life, like, for the
And
most
yeah, that's a
part.
thing. It's like these personality things, I think, this shouldn't be a determining factor for you to change and be like, oh, you're wrong for this. It's just who the fuck you are.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think it can just be a guideline of
Yeah.
like generally speaking, like things that you can improve at or things
Little
that
things, maybe
you're just not as good at. But like this is not like ultimate. Like it shouldn't dictate your life.
No.
76% of those with the prospecting trait say it's hard for them to focus on the one thing for a long period of time, compared to 50% of those with judging traits. You guys feel that you're that ADD mentality?
It's weird because I'm kind of split on that, because I do little, like, if I have a project or something in my mind that I like want to master, I feel like I'll focus on it super, super hard. Like, for example, the Rubik's Cube, like when I relearned how to do that, I was like not going to do anything else until I relearned how to do that. So that's like where my focus comes into play. But it also speaks to how like my mind jumps to so many different things that are just random and like just random little shit that I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it speaks to both sides
One
of
thing
it.
that I read in mine, and this will probably apply to you guys too, is that it's like when you're working on like a project or like you have an idea for something, it's like all of like I guess you could call it like abstract, like, and kind of like ideas part of it, like the big picture stuff. Like you'll spend so much time like coming up with all this like crazy stuff that you want to do, and then like by the time that it's actually the point to like actually implement it, your brain is like so overworked that like you can't do the practical parts of it.
Anything with like a speech. That's how I like if I'm planning out a speech or something, I do like the notepads. I have my like singular points, whatever, and then I get there, dude, and my brain malfunctions. And
It's
I'm
almost
like, oh,
you can
shit.
practice or plan too much, and I think that's what you're kind of getting at. Is you can over plan to the
Definitely.
point you have this fucking strict ass schedule. And I'm never gonna say this is a bad thing because schedules are always a good thing, but you have such a strict schedule that it almost doesn't give you the opportunity if something did arise that you felt good enough and were like, what's the word I'm looking for? Spontaneous enough to jump on this opportunity because
the Mark Wahlberg schedule.
Yeah, the fucking let me wake up at 4 and jerk off 4 times and go eat my pancakes.
Yep, I think that's verbatim what is on his
Something
list.
like that. I think it's in the small text.
The small.
You just got to read. You got to read in between the lines.
For me, it's hard to really pinpoint where I land on this one. This was my closest spread out of all of them. It was 53 to 47. 53 being prospecting or perceiving over assertive and judgment. And I feel like I want to. Part of me is just like I gotta pick one now because it's either.
Is this
I
another
can't
one
be
that's a
sitting
good
in the
mix though?
More so the last one I felt was a better mix, like thinking and feeling. This one I feel like if you can't be both sides, or else you're not fulfilling what it is to be truly assertive or be truly a prospector.
Gotcha.
And by not doing, or by I'm using, for lack of a better term, half-assing either one, you don't fulfill what it is you're trying to set out to do in the first place.
Yeah.
And that's my own analysis of myself. That's not saying that's a truth for anybody else. That's just how I kind of see it breaking down in my life.
Yeah.
Where ultimately when I look at this, tactics, work, planning, decision-making, assertive versus prospecting, I just think in my mind a short summary to this section is timidness to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think a summary for me, I scored timid. I am timid in this section.
I think if I were to compare myself to you and label myself with one word, I'd say I don't know now. Now I'm overthinking it. I'm trying to think I think I'm more I know what I enjoy and I'm going to do it. I'm not going to do something that I necessarily don't like just because it's something it's something I may not need to do, but I have to do it, and I need to find enjoyment out of it before I actually kind of dedicate myself to something.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's part of this fucking thing, but
Everything is a part of everything at this point. Like
there's a
it's
lot
all
of,
ties in.
There's a lot of good that can arise out of that for sure. Because I've been the person who was like, I need to have like a job when I graduate just to like stay steady. And I know I like kind of pump faked you guys on the LA move out because I was like, dude, I just kind of, that's what I'm feeling right now and that's what I want to do. But I got so bogged down by the fact that like I have the job and the life here. And I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say I regret not making that decision, but
I mean,
it's
COVID
just,
hit and like everything went to shit. Honestly, it's
Yeah.
better you stayed on. It's better you stayed here.
But I guess that's just one of those moments where I recognize it's like I'm not doing what I like to do at all.
you're just doing
I'm just doing
something.
it to have some
Fulfill
sort of
a need.
have some sort of stability.
And I think that's where a lot of people get bogged down is like, you're not living. Are you just living your life? Or are you like dying to live? Which is like another good quote.
This conversation, one of the main points about INFPTs, and I mean specifically this is for prospecting or perceiving people, which we all are. It's looking for a career that's fulfilling or feeling like they might not be living up to their potential. And those are two. I saw those and wrote them down because those are two truths, massive truths in my life right now.
Yeah.
Without a fucking doubt.
You're finding. I mean, we're
Like-
all doing what we love, like what we want to do right now. I think we're all living in that sense. I think we know what we like to do. We know the big picture, kind of how we want to live our lives.
But what you're saying, Ethan, is meeting the potential and
Yeah.
like the ideas you have set out for yourself and realizing like it's not going as quickly as you'd like, or
Which is always like, every now and then it's good to have a status report and be able to look back and see like, fuck, I've come this far. Even though it doesn't seem like you're nearly as close to where you want to be in life, be it you're an architect, a singer, a mathematician, whatever it is, and you feel like you aren't quite there yet, just do yourself a favor and look back at your timeline and see
And
how
where the
far
fuck you
fucking
were.
come, and realize that as a kid when you were 5 years old, did you ever think you would be, even at this age, or thinking about the things you're thinking about, or plotting about the things you want to do? When I was a kid, I was like, college, like being 18, I'll never be 18. That'll never fucking happen. And then it fucking happens. I kind of lost my point.
I get what you're saying.
But,
I think just like one of the things that people struggle with nowadays is like, and you guys have talked about this before, is like the instant gratification of everything. Where
Doing
it's
it
like,
now.
life is a journey, and people feel like if by like your mid 20s you're not rich and living your dream job, and you have all these accolades and have done everything that you had planned that you would do, then like you're a failure.
It's because
Who the
That's not
fuck
true.
those people?
we
dude.
inherently compare ourselves.
Fuck those people. I'm sorry.
what do you mean? Why?
Fuck the people that
They're
say
successful.
that give you. But like, there's a lot of people now, and I'm just gonna go on a fucking rant. There's a lot of people who live their lives like very materialistically,
Okay.
and they get that instant gratification of like, I have $1 million and I'm happy, but they're not happy. They're happy because they got to this point when. Are they truly happy? And like, that's why it's a rant. Are they really happy?
They met a goal, though. I mean, who's to say?
Yeah,
But
not
are they enjoying it? Did they?
I don't know.
dude,
but like,
speak for yourself.
Yeah.
Justin
Oh.
Bieber seems fucking stoked.
But yeah, exactly.
Sam,
Because I
although
think
he
he
made that
loves
lonely
it.
Sam, I think you can
Yeah,
without
I mean,
a
he
doubt,
is lonely.
I think you can without a doubt find a person with that archetype that you're explaining. Where
Yeah,
it's like
I think
this.
there's a lot of people
But
that are bag chasers.
But if you're
regardless.
goal setting and you're reaching your goals and people find happiness from that, then
100%.
hell yeah. To Cole's point, to kind of strip it back from like planning out how people think and different archetypes around that subject. Cole, you were talking about. Remind me, what were you just saying? It's gonna come back.
Just kind of how like
instant gratification.
instant gratification, but also how like
okay.
everybody has their own journey.
Yes.
Like you accomplish things at your own pace.
Exactly, and that's what we need to remind ourselves of, because especially nowadays with social media, we're all constantly comparing ourselves to each other, and by comparing ourselves to each other, we find ourselves lying about what we actually are online. And it's this culture of, they're like that, so I got to be like that. That's the right way, so I'm going to have to go that way. When in reality, in life, you got to realize, I think, that you can do fucking absolutely anything you want. There's no guide rails. There's no bumper rails or anything. So, I mean, but I'm victim to it. I look at people online, on LinkedIn, like succeeding, following their dreams on different levels, places where I want to be, people accomplishing shit that I feel like I should be doing myself, and that's going to, without a doubt, bleed into you.
Yeah.
And you're going to feel that. But take it with a healthy grain of salt, I feel like. You can never fully compare yourself to anyone else, which nowadays we're forced to. That was a real roundabout.
I guess I'm just so skeptical on these people living through social media now. I mean, I guess that's more what I'm pointing to. It's like these people making money on social media, like, are they really happy? If they are, I mean, fucking insane. Good. You found what you like. You're killing at it. But there are people that are like, I'm just going to do this because it's popular or because I can make a quick bag off of it.
And that's been forever.
But
That's
social
like
media has
everything,
just
And
it's
I
just heightened
just
it.
shown it more.
Yeah.
And
Highlighted.
expose these people to like, are you
Yeah.
happy?
And made it easier to be done.
But it's not like those things aren't desirable. Like the
Yeah.
things that
I
people
love to have a
show.
yacht. I love a yacht.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
also, dude, like you can't
and
be
you can't
that.
be bitter about
Yeah.
it. Like there's
Oh,
no,
yeah.
there should never be bitterness towards those people. Like you yourself are comparing yourself to them, and if you don't like it, like
I'm
fucking
being very, very
turn off your
hypocritical.
Twitter.
I was
or
gonna
turn
say,
off your
yeah.
you
Instagram,
can't be
whatever.
hypocritical about it because, like, I know, like, you love Travis Scott, and like, I know for a fact that when you look at a picture of Travis Scott standing in front of like a murdered out G wagon, wearing like $15,000 or $16,000 worth of clothes,
Yeah.
you're literally like, oh, dude, that's sick.
Oh yeah,
Like-
I strive.
So fuck Travis Scott.
No. Because the only reason
But what if he's not happy?
Yeah, what if
he's
Travis
not
is
happy,
sad?
if he's doing it, and
How could he not be happy? Is the hottest chick in the world.
you impregnated the
Best
hottest
music
chick.
career. McDonald's is selling food with his name on it. Dude just has to scream "yeah" on a track, and
It's lit.
done.
Dude,
and
but-
it's done.
But that's what you hear is those are the kind of people that literally
Yeah.
are depressed, which
it's,
is
And I-
it's
and
a
I-
sad truth.
And I think it's just, and Travis Scott, yes, could be completely sad, but just like from what I've read, him being an artist is something he's always wanted to be.
Okay, I'll use another example.
That's right. Yeah, I think if we can pinpoint somebody,
Yeah,
Well,
like
that's
if you
what
can,
I'm
when
saying,
you can
dude,
spot
there's a
that
million
it's, that it's
examples.
disingenuous.
Yes,
That
very-
when somebody is trying to push themselves, you know how we said that these things are like puzzle pieces. We're fitting right into these archetypes. You're angry at people that are actively trying to retrofit themselves into an archetype that they aren't. Like, oh,
a poser.
I'm yeah,
A
a poser.
poser.
Yeah, definitely. That's probably the best
And
word
we've-
I could put
we've
on. Like, a
talked
poser.
about it.
You're faking to get a bag.
Yeah, and we've talked about it, like in the comedian realm. I think there's a massive difference between somebody delivering a joke for laughs and somebody delivering a joke because this is how they feel. And I think you can spot the difference when somebody's just like, "Oh, I'm going to tell this joke." Even it's going to get a lot of laughs, but I truly just am just pulling this out of my ass.
every comedian is trying to get laughs too.
Rather than
If
but
they
I think
don't
the
feel
joke you
what they're
can
saying.
tell where they put a lot of thought into it.
Well, that's what
They were-
separates the best
Exactly.
of all time.
That's
from-
what I'm trying to say.
I mean, it's a competition. Like at the end of the day, like I feel like coming up in comedy, it's you want to be better than your peers. That's how you ascend in the realm of comedy.
And laughs is
And
the
so-
value.
exactly.
Yeah.
So if you can find a shortcut that for sure gets laughs, but might not be some great inner perspective truth about yourself, but it's still a joke that is 100% laugh rate, you're gonna want to use that.
Yeah.
But as you keep going up the list, the best of all time are ones that find 100% laugh rate while being 100% themselves 24/7.
And even if they
It's
don't
an
get that
interesting-
100%
it's an
laugh
interesting
rate.
discussion.
I
Yeah.
think even if they don't get that 100% laugh rate, they're still gonna fucking
Yeah.
push these jokes to get a fan base. One, because the people that believe in them, regardless of maybe these jokes that they're gonna try, they're still gonna be like, okay. I mean, we talked about Sam Kinison, just some dude that doesn't give a fuck about what anybody thinks about his jokes. He's just gonna tell them straight up how he feels, and if you want to laugh, you can. If not, fuck you.
Yeah, and then the people that try to be Sam Kinison, or you see like there was a whole era of people that were copycat Seinfeld comedians that completely copy that style. They don't live forever. Their legacy is never going to be what a Seinfeld was and a Kinison. Those are two very polar opposite types of styles of comedy and stand-up comedy, but they're the best at what they do. And they definitely spawn people that want to be just like them, but you can tell that it's not the same thing because it isn't that thing.
They're
They
not
don't have the
delivering
X factor. They don't have the sauce. They don't have the
Sauce.
secret
The
ingredient.
confidence,
The aioli.
the aioli. But yeah, I just think once again to round it all off. Sorry, but
Oh, it's cool.
I
I was actually just gonna say the people I feel like you're actually thinking about are like TikTok stars.
I'm
And, like,
thinking
yeah.
TikTok and YouTube people.
Yeah,
In
fuck
my
TikTok.
head right now, I'm thinking fuck Jay Station,
Bryce Hall,
fuck
and
Logan
those
Paul,
homies.
fuck.
Jake Paul.
But dude, I love
Fuck
a lot
Jake
of
Paul.
YouTubers though.
Yeah,
like,
YouTubers-
Like Mr. Beast is my shit.
I love Mr. Beast,
Well, he's just doing great
but the
stuff.
man has the algorithm.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Well,
have you gone back
the-
through his channel? You see how hard this dude has been fucking doing this shit for
I mean,
so
he
long.
actually just posted a video of him from 5 years ago, and he set the video to post
I
when
remember that.
in 2015, he's like,
It was like an
"What's
old
up?"
ass video.
yeah,
Okay,
he's like,
okay.
"What's up, like future me? I have 8,000 subscribers right now. Like, hope to see you at a
Oh,
million."
you've only seen
So-
the new Mr. Beast. You don't even know.
Oh, I don't know
Who-
old Mr. Beast.
I'm not gonna pretend like I
Oh,
know
yeah,
a single
sorry.
fucking thing about Mr. Beast.
So-
I don't
Sorry, we
consume
should-
any of
So
it.
it's like imagine me, hype man. Hey, dude, let's go. We're gonna set up a contest. Everybody, put your hand on this water bottle. The last one holding it gets $1 million.
This is what
from me.
Mr. Beast is.
Essentially,
Dude, but like,
I don't know old Mr.
sure,
Beast.
that's like, okay, like, yes.
I'm
he'll-
talking-
He will be like, everyone get inside of this Tesla and the last person leave the Tesla gets it. But his old videos would be like him like praying to like this giant Asian sticker on his wall and like smashing his computers and then being like, everyone subscribe to PewDiePie
This
because
sounds
I fucking
like
suck.
the most
and-
old internet like viral
Mr.
weird
Beast.
video
Dude, he's like
where
the
you just
weirdest
do
guy.
outlandish shit for views.
Shout out Mr.
Like, there's
Beast
no
though.
point.
I love him, dude.
He's like the biggest like nerd ever who turned into like a bazillionaire who just
Yeah.
like gives away
Hands out
shit.
money.
He's probably
Yeah.
the most popular YouTube channel now.
This has nothing to do
Yeah.
with Mr.
Not in terms of
Beast.
subscribers.
PewDiePie. Oh, I was gonna say PewDiePie.
This
but-
has nothing to do with Mr. Beast at all, but you telling the story about him smashing his computers and doing like weird, just like praying to weird things on his wall and just doing the most outlandish shit for clicks. It reminded me of, you remember the Ultimate Freakout videos?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where
dude.
like it's obvious, like maybe the first one was real, like the kid freaked out because his
Yeah.
World of Warcraft account got deleted or whatever. But then when it was Ultimate Freakout 6,
You're like,
you realize
"How?"
like this kid is just acting
It's
right
a
now.
production.
It's an absolute just.
And the brother that would like run in. Hey guys, he's freaking out.
but it's what gets views.
It was
Yeah.
a good production, dude.
Yeah.
Towards the end, that
And-
shit was hilarious.
And then he
Yeah,
fucking
it
had
was.
the most viral moment on YouTube. Him shoving a remote up his ass.
Yeah, that was the first
that's
one.
the first
I think.
one.
And it's like, what the fuck is going on? And then
Mm-hmm.
you had him like smashing his computers, and it just, you could tell it was so set up, but people watched it.
Yeah.
Dude, they got to a point where like they like bought him a new car for his birthday,
He
and then
hated
like
it.
he hated
Oh,
it,
he
so he
took
went
a
outside
massive
and
window.
Starts
smashed it.
destroying it.
I mean, it's
like
the one with the
someone paid
vacuum
for that
cleaner?
car. Some sponsor like paid for
Yeah,
that.
like
fucking
Hummer
car.
paid for it.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
And
how they're funding their new electric car.
it does just it makes sense. That's another case, like, you're probably getting a fuck ton of money because of the views. I don't know at YouTube at this point if they were cashing out, but they were getting the viral aspect of it. But were they truly like doing this just like because they were having so much fun? And the dude was like, dude, if we
Or is
fucking-
now the dude's like, I'm trapped inside this persona
Yeah.
that I created. I have to freak out at all times or else no one will accept
So
me.
we've-
No, and he's out in public, no video cameras, and he just feels this need like, I gotta freak out for these people. Where's
I gotta shove a remote up
Where's
my
my
ass.
travel remote? Get my travel remote.
I
Dude.
will say that
Then I would be like, damn, this kid's genuine, man.
The
Like, I
dude-
believe the videos.
It forged his personality.
exactly the dude. I don't know if you guys remember, but it's funny that Daniel sampled School of Rock from it. But the guy in the very end of the Battle of the Bands, I don't know if you remember this. He had the chest
I
tat
saw this on
in
Twitter.
the sleeve, the leather sleeves.
In
His
School
name
of
is
Rock?
Spider. His name is
Spider.
Spider.
Yeah.
And he's
And
like
he's got
weird,
the
and he's got the
sleeve.
body roll. He's like body rolling all the time. So he's now like a Texas. He's like a mayor in Texas.
No,
now.
he's a district
or
attorney.
district attorney in Texas, whatever the
He's
fuck. it
That's
is.
awesome.
But
But
dude,
yeah.
he had this going back to your like persona. Like they're gonna look at this dude and be like,
Yeah, but
You're
that was
that-
just in a movie though.
it's still.
It's a
There
job.
people
like-
get typecasted.
yeah,
Yeah.
I still.
and
It's
then
gonna
it's,
be
What
like,
do you-
it's
hey.
not a, it's just a devil's advocate.
What
to
do you
your
think
point.
your guys' typecast would be if you were in a movie? Be truthful.
I don't know.
Probably just an awkward kid.
That's
Like,
a
an awkward
typecast?
guy.
In my natural state, I'm awkward, and I'd probably just be the awkward friend, like the weird awkward friend.
I'd probably be the pothead that says like couple off cuff remarks every now and then, but that's about it.
Stupid shit.
Yeah.
We should all typecast each other. That's
I was
where
gonna
we
say
really
this would be
get
better
into
because
it.
you guys are just. Well, Sam just kind of said that he just smokes weed. That's his.
You kind of nailed
typecast.
that. I would.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think you guys would have labeled
Yeah.
me as
I think that my typecast would be like,
Dude, you're
Damn.
you're just like a gnarly motherfucker. Like you're
I
that.
would typecast
I would
you
just
as
be
like a
like-
surfer bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, sick.
You would
Surfer
be
bro,
like a
Sam?
Cali
I would
guy.
love that.
Yeah, like
I don't know.
fucking mulatto, just like dapping people up in every which way.
The
Like you make
skater
'em
guy.
feel
You're
really
the skater
comfortable.
guy.
Okay, cool.
You're like the extra. The skater guy. You're like
the guy who's just like carrying a skateboard, but I'm holding it mall grab and like
Yeah.
just not doing
and
it
like
right.
slightly judging kids how they
Yeah.
skate. You're like, dude, you're doing that all wrong. Like, you got to do it this way.
And then like when the main character is like having a bad day, I'm like, dude, you just
yeah.
gotta like focus on like the like chill things in life.
I was gonna say you're like crazy supportive.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I'm like,
dude,
You're an
you're
extrovert.
You
You're a
are.
typecasted extrovert.
You're Chicken Joe from.
Yes!
Star-
Yes,
That's exactly
dude.
who you
100%.
are.
I'm so
100%.
Chicken Joe.
Chicken Joe, dude.
You're like the hype man, but you're like the profound thought dude that's like, dude, you just got to ride.
I'm
the
not like
wave.
actually being profound. I just think that I am.
Yeah.
So that's
All
what
right.
we typecasted Cole as. What are we typecasting Sam as?
Sam is actually being typecasted as a nerd, like smart.
I was gonna say dork.
Yeah.
I'm cool with being like, if I had to typecast myself, I'd be one of the extras in
A math class.
social
Studies.
social networking.
Oh.
I'd be one of the guys in that room where they do the coding test and they're like chugging beers, but I'd be the one like
Oh, when they do
smoking.
the competition.
Yeah, they do
Yeah.
but I'm smoking weed, like going
Coding.
nuts.
And
like,
you're an asshole to everybody.
Yeah, I'm just an asshole, but I'll say very off-cuff remarks every now and then.
You're the guy who's like plugged in coding, and then
He's plugged in. He's
someone
plugged
like,
in.
yeah,
And then
don't
2
fucking
years
bother.
later, you get cast in a movie where you're a hacker, and then like 3
Yeah.
years later,
I'm in a
you're-
Jason Bourne
you're
movie.
in like a Jason Bourne movie, and
Yeah.
you're one of like the guys that like works in like the government
Helps him.
room, but you're just like on a computer.
Yeah.
You're like,
Hey,
yeah.
dude, what's up? Yeah, I just hacked the Chinese government.
You don't have that many lines. You're literally just like, I'm in.
I'm on it.
Yeah, that's it. I'm
Shutting
in.
down power now.
It's just a close up of me pushing a button.
It's
Just my
your
finger.
finger.
And
Yeah.
you're all clear. Click.
All right, Ethan,
Yeah, let me hear it.
Ethan,
you're typecast. Drew, go
Who
ahead.
is you're Casey Affleck in Manchester by the Sea.
Oh
I think.
shit, just depressed.
Well, no. Well, I mean, he's sad, but like, there's a dynamic there.
Yeah.
That's obviously not like to a T, but
I gotta
also the look like helps it.
I gotta think of a good typecast for you.
I know who you are. You're literally just like any early Seth Rogen character.
Yeah.
I'll
Like
take
a
that
guy
too.
who like kind of seems
down on his luck.
Yeah, down on his luck.
Every man.
Kind of looks a little bummy, but has a heart of gold.
I was thinking.
Damn, I'll fucking take
I was
that.
thinking
Yeah.
maybe like a manager for like a music group that you're like laid
I
back.
thought you were gonna say manager for like to the like
You know-
Seth Rogen old like 40-year-old version when they all work at that
Oh,
Smart
the-
Tech
yeah.
or whatever the hell
Yeah,
it is.
yeah. Oh,
Like
yeah.
a manager of a place like that.
I thought
That'd
you
be
were gonna say
good.
like manager of like a music store, like a guitar center.
That'd be good
Yeah.
as well. But I'm thinking like, have you guys
But
ever?
I don't play any. That's what's
Yeah.
so funny about it is I don't play.
Have you
any
ever
of it.
seen Frank, the
Yes.
movie on Netflix? He's
Yeah.
the manager.
Frank? What's that?
That's
movie?
who
the
he is.
movie where the guy wears the head. The
You end
entire
up
time.
hanging yourself. I'm just gonna let you know.
Whoa.
See,
dude.
so Drew is right. The depression is always
You end
there.
up hanging
The
yourself.
depression is always
But
there.
you're like introverted because you're like editing music and you're just like, dude, like I love this shit, and you're like not really saying anything.
I don't think you understand what a typecast is. You're
I
just giving
don't.
him
I'm just-
like one role.
I'm giving him one role where I think he'd fit really
You-
well.
surfer dude, dork,
Wait.
Down on his
also-
down
luck.
on his luck, depressed dude.
I was gonna
And
say
then-
the Seth Rogen role where he's hiring stepbrothers, like where he's hiring them.
Oh, did you just fart?
Yeah,
I can taste it.
dude.
That's
All
it.
right.
A manager.
What are
a
you,
manager.
Drew?
I don't know.
Drew,
What am
I
I?
see is like
like cliche, like
two
friends.
Sam's dork. Two Sam's dork.
Shea friend.
I'd almost put Drew at like a like a top like intellectual, but not in the system type of. What would you say? Like he's an intellectual who
Like a hacker.
no, not necessarily.
I'm
but like
the hacker.
someone who is against authority.
Dude, I really see just Drew as being like the cliche friend. Like he's like there's the protagonist, and then Drew is like the guy that's with him. That's kind of like a backboard to his thoughts, and Drew just kind of
He's a
Sets him,
soundboard.
sets him in his place.
yeah. You have like
sometimes.
off the cuff or cusp remarks that just kind of like push the story along, and
Okay.
the protagonist can really just like trust in you because you're just like
Sure.
I could see Drew as a rogue, like businessman.
Like
That's what I see.
know
I
what
see
you
like
like-
somebody who's going out and doing his own thing is like fuck. Nobody else is like helping me, so I'm gonna just start. I'm gonna learn everything on my own and just
You're-
fucking.
That's
pop.
You're the-
these
know
are
what
like
one-
starkly.
I know it's
Yeah,
funny.
these
It's
are
kinda
so-
I
hilarious.
think you're the Jonah Hill to the Jordan Belford. That's in my
Oh,
mind.
yeah, that's kinda
I think
like-
you're that
That's
man.
kind of like what I'm saying.
I think you're
I would love that
That's-
shit.
And
too.
I'm
I
going
would
to
love
change
that
my
role.
answer to typing myself. I think I'm Rain Man. I'm a little retarded, but I also say some good. I'm very smart.
Yeah, you could.
I'm
bankrupt
street
the casino.
smarts. Street
Rain
smarts.
Man wasn't
Smarts.
street
You're
smart.
Simple Jack.
But I'm just retarded. That's plain and simple.
Dude, the other
But-
character I was gonna say, when you were describing me as a friend, was Keith from Gemstones.
Oh, dude.
I haven't
jeez.
seen
Season
Reggie's
2
Gemstones.
coming out,
Dude.
baby.
We-
Season 2.
We have recently started rewatching, so
I
that
need
was
to
like
do it.
fresh on my mind.
That show is
Oh,
so
yo,
damn good.
can I be cousin Greg, please?
Yeah, dude.
Dude.
course.
Cousin Greg.
Nicholas
Of course you
Braun,
can.
if you're listening,
No way,
man.
dude. You're skater surfer, bro.
He was.
You've been
he-
typecast.
You're Chicken Joe, bro.
Fuck, I can't
You-
escape this.
You are Chicken Joe.
Sorry, I
You are
screamed. I
this.
screamed.
Chicken Joe.
Holy fuck.
Rain Man. I'm trying to think of a character that I could
I
compare
just-
you to.
You're
Skater
Seth,
surfer, dork,
Seth Rogen and Knocked Up.
down on his luck, dude, and then
Down on his luck.
best
Friend and rogue businessman.
friend, rogue businessman.
I kind of like Rogue Businessman now. Like, you're
Is
like,
it to a point where
dude, you're like Charlie Sheen in Wall Street.
This is getting.
I'm saying
this
I-
is escalating.
I think
can I be typecasted? Can you typecast
You
me?
can't put us in a box.
I'm on typecastable.
because of my personality, I'm actually offended that you guys typecasted me as a retarded dork. So we're gonna jump off of this podcast. We're gonna turn this off now.
No, don't turn it off.
I'm
How do we
put-
end this thing?
I'm on this computer. This computer ain't got. I'm on
There's one
DuckDuckGo.
last thing. It's,
Let's reel it back
it's
in.
identity, and that is measured by turbulence or assertiveness, and it's basically just insecurity versus non-insecurity is what I boiled down to for.
I think it's. Are you tough on yourself, or
Yeah.
you just kind of
Mm-hmm.
So
go with it?
Ethan, Cole, and myself, we were T's.
T's.
Turbulence.
Yeah.
T's and A's, titties and
And
ass.
Sam was an A.
I was an ass,
because
man.
he's never done anything wrong and he doesn't
I'm perfect.
critique himself.
No, it's more. I live my life. I think here. Let me. What's the description for me? Assertive. Assertive individuals are self-assured, even-tempered, and resistant to stress. They
Okay.
refuse to worry too much, and do not push themselves too hard when it comes to achieving goals.
Refuse to worry. I would definitely pin on your board.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you
Yeah.
go.
I
Not
these,
to say you guys don't give a
No,
fuck,
I
but I
know.
think
These were the questions though where I was like looking at it and I was like, I'm just gonna be real with myself. I'm definitely like pretty hard on myself
Yeah.
a lot of the time. Like those are the ones that are like harder to click. You're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, just that's what at the beginning of this episode, I like so much of it was difficult because you wanted to be as honest as you possibly can, avoid that bias coming in. 'Cause
Yeah.
as much as you want yourself to be coming out a certain way,
you're not. You can't change it.
yeah.
I feel
So
like
once-
that was something that I like maybe in high school I wouldn't have known how to answer a ton of those questions.
Yeah, I think that's another thing where you're just at that point. Do you have a personality? And I think this is what you're hinting at. Do you have a personality, or is it kind of just
What
what you've
make
been
up,
born around?
what you
Product of your
create for
environment.
yourself.
Product of your environment.
This makes me think of Jim Carrey's memoirs, or like semi-memoirs. It's about his life, but it's all false stories, but with characters and
You were
people that he
talking
actually
to us.
came in interaction with in his
Yeah.
life. It's called Memoirs and Misinformation. So, and he describes it as there's truths in all these stories, but they don't play out. It never played out the way it actually did, and it's ultimately a story about the end of the earth. That being said, there's like a thesis to this book, and an overarching theme where it's Jim Carrey is not Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is somebody that he's created every single day of his life. It's the mask that he puts on every day when he walks out the door. It's what you act as in front of people that makes you comfortable in that situation. But who are you really when you're by yourself? That's
And he played the mask. He played the fucking movie, dude.
I know,
and
it's-
it draws
it's-
straight back to it, to the point like, are you leaving your home and just kind of like putting on this facade of who you are, or are you living every day?
but also that facade
is who you
is who because you go out every day as that.
Yeah.
And the real freedom is when you realize that you don't need to put that mask on either.
you just walk around.
And you just but it's only so easily said. Like
Yeah.
it's such a level of mental discipline I feel like that you have to get to be like I truly
And it's hard to
give a
tell.
fuck
And,
anymore,
and
dog.
other than you can't say like you're not like to somebody else. You're not like who you are because how the fuck do you know? You don't know what the fuck this person is.
Being like sensing someone being disingenuous is a very intuitive thing.
I think that's another thing. Yeah.
So that's, I guess, and it makes people uncomfortable. So that's a very strange
There's an energy
thing.
that's put off. You can literally
Yeah.
feel it. It's like a palpable energy that you
like
feel
a-
like this dude's fronting, or right now you can feel, or like you can feel yourself doing it as well.
Mhm.
It goes both ways. You can, and it takes energy from you.
Yeah.
It literally
Yeah.
tires you
And
out
it's usually
and
those
takes
social
away from you.
situations where you're with people you don't know,
Yeah.
and like in the back of your head somewhere, you're like, I really don't care about what I'm saying,
Yeah.
and I'm sure that it like, and in the back of my head, I'm like, I feel like it's on my face that I don't care,
Yeah.
and I hope, I mean that sucks.
don't care in
but
what sense. Sorry.
Just that like I'm not giving my full self to the conversation. Like I'm half
okay,
there.
okay.
My brain is like half there.
Gotcha.
That sucks, dude. I hate when like I don't care about what somebody's talking about.
I
But,
But
know.
like, that's who you are. Like, I don't give a fuck about a lot
like,
of things.
but if you can tell that you're doing that to someone else, you like,
Oh, you're saying if they can read that you don't give a fuck.
yeah, not that they even
Gotcha.
express
Okay,
it, but
okay,
like
okay.
just that you feel that energy, like you were saying. Like,
It's
I don't
a
know, it
fucking
just
thing you
sucks.
can feel.
Ah, it's kind of
it's
like a
pretty
thing.
easy to pick up on.
It's kind of a thing. Like,
Yeah.
then it's almost. I mean, sometimes you just want to say, like, bro, shut the fuck up. I don't care what you're talking about.
Good way to put like if we wanted to do a snake draft before we started recording, we were looking through like a bank of people that went into
Yeah.
the same
Okay.
personality that we were in, or same I don't know if diagnosis is the right word, but same result.
Same personality trait as
Yeah.
us.
Do we want to do a
Like our
draft
top
of those
3?
people that are
Yeah.
in your specific?
This will be good for
thing?
you guys because you guys all have the same
We have the
three.
same pool of people.
I'd also like to read the quote by the
Yeah.
Araya Mountain Dreamer.
Do you want Cole?
Oh,
I'm gonna pull up the people that you have personalities with.
I know who they are.
Or you have some.
I know who they are.
This is good too because we have a bank. Actually, we usually just like go off our
Yeah.
dome.
This is just a really beautiful quote by the Araya Mountain Dreamer that I was telling Ethan before we started recording. I had found this quote somewhere along my travels back in 2016. And then when I took this Myers Briggs personality test, it was the quote in my introduction to my personality trait. So I thought that was pretty cool. But it goes, "It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for, and if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing. It doesn't interest me how old you are. I want to know if you will risk looking like a fool for love, for your dreams, for the adventure of being alive."
I like
Let's
that.
fucking go, dude.
I hope somebody that's
That's a
listening
hitter.
has chills right now.
I have chills right.
I feel like
fucking
I've
now.
heard that before. It's a great quote. I like that
Such
one.
a cool name too, dude.
Don't
What
you
is
wish
it?
you could
Orion
do that to
Mountain
someone?
Dreamer?
Like
Like-
if you went up to a random person and you said
Just
those
said that
things.
verbatim?
You
Yeah.
grabbed them on the sides of their heads and stared into their soul and
They-
read that
dude.
and said that. Not even read it.
Yeah, no.
It's something that nobody's ever heard.
Even cooler would be if like I just like pretended like that was like a quote that I read somewhere and I just like made that up like right now.
That would be very
Dude, right off top.
Yeah.
Would we know it's that
I'm a
profound
fucking
though?
prophet.
In
You-
the
I
in the
don't know.
moment, would we be like, "You did not just fucking say that,"
But
Or-
no, I didn't actually make it.
or would
up.
we? Would it sink in? No, I'm saying if you did say something very profound, or would we be like a week later, be like, "Dude, that was kind of fucked up what you said."
Yeah, it would take a second to sink in. I could say something that profound, but I won't right now for the sake of the snake draft. You'll have to come find me in person if you want to hear some profoundness.
Let me grab the sides of your head. and
Profoundness don't
fucking
come
stare into
free,
your
bro.
soul.
It comes with a price.
Yep.
Do we want to do like 3 from each,
4.
4, like we
or do we
said.
usually do 4?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
always do 4.
Um,
I just looked up INFPT celebrities or figures.
do you want to go?
So that's my. Oh yeah, okay.
I
Shit.
can start as well. I don't. give a fuck.
No, hold on. I'm going to take.
Oh wait, so I need to look this up.
Bro, fuck it. I'm taking Heath Ledger, bro. His Joker was gnarly. Apparently he is an INFP. Dude, I have trouble saying that shit. But respect to Heath, dog. Like, he revolutionized.
Put some
that
respect
shit.
on Heath. Heath
That's
Ledger
just,
was I want to say one of my favorite Batman, my favorite Joker by far.
He's everybody's favorite Joker. I feel like.
You know he like the shit that he went through just to play that role.
any of his roles, dude. He
Yeah, he went
completely
through a lot.
enveloped
The Joker
all
one, I think, was the
characters
most
he became.
fucked up one.
Yeah, there's all that talk about like how it set him down a bad like mental path afterwards. And
but it
stuff
made
like
the
that.
fucking character.
Yeah, dude. I mean, talk about somebody who lives his art. So hell yeah, I'm about that. Drew, your pick.
Okay. This list is pretty insane.
Yeah, there's some good ones on here.
I'm just gonna do this list as if like I'm gonna chill with these people. So I'm gonna pick.
Like, who are you? Okay, does that change your answer?
No, I'm gonna take heat. I'm gonna keep.
Yeah.
I think that's a good person to hang
Yeah.
out with. If you had a group of 5, who you hang,
or just ask questions, whatever.
yeah, whatever you want to do.
So I'm gonna go Kurt Cobain.
Damn.
I
like
I was looking at him.
Why? Why? Sorry, before you go.
I think we would probably have a pretty good conversation. That's pretty much the base of
I
it.
think
I
I'd
feel like
be his
I'd have
best
a
friend.
lot of questions. Should be a lot of things I'd like to know.
I'd definitely be his best friend.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. He's gonna be my boy.
He's my best friend, Cole.
My first pick is going to be famous gonzo journalist Hunter S.
Oh,
Thompson.
that's a good one.
I don't know who
he's
this
an
is.
ENF.
You don't know who Hunter S. Thompson is?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Who is this?
yikes.
What?
Curse of Lano, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas,
The Rum
Fear and Loathing
Diary.
on the Campaign Trail,
No.
The Rum Diary.
Lauren Diary. No, I do know. Is this an actor, I assume?
No, he's a journalist
Oh, he's a journalist.
and a writer.
Oh.
You should watch. There's a
Like a
super
good
cool
journalist.
documentary on YouTube about him. I think it's just called Gonzo Mode or something. Gonzo.
It's probably just gonzo, yeah.
It's
I mean, you should just
fucking
read.
cool.
You should just read some of his
Journalists
work.
now suck.
funny fact about everybody so far. They've all died tragically by their own like
Yeah.
demise.
Yeah.
Just a point. Just thought I'd throw it out there.
I think that's part of what makes them interesting, I guess.
Yeah.
Like part of their lore.
That's
It's
why they
be-
picked number one.
I think it's
Yes.
because they are like truly people that kind of live their lives the way they want to, regardless of how they feel. I mean, they went through some fucked up shit, but I think they lived their life to what they thought was the fullest.
Your pick.
All them
now.
drugs, though, baby. I'm picking Tim Burton.
Hey,
shit.
dude.
I mean, a fucking classic
Nightmare
man.
Before Christmas,
Classic
Batman,
I didn't know what the fucking.
Edward Scissorhands.
Edward
Yeah.
Scissorhands, dude.
A lot of animated stuff now, I guess, more than
Nine,
anything.
that one movie. I
Great,
believe.
dude. One of my favorite animated movies. But shout out Tim Burton. My second one.
Oh yeah, Snaker.
I'm not gonna say any other names. I was gonna talk about how funny the funniness of some of these people, but we can talk at the end. Mary Kay Olsen. Let's go with
Nice.
it.
So you're picking one of the twins.
One of the
then.
twins, because I don't know if the other twin. That's a funny thing, dude. I'm wondering if twins
To me, they're the same.
are they gonna have opposite like personalities, or are they gonna have exactly the
They
same?
usually, I feel like they
know.
tend to have similar, but I could just be speaking right out of my asshole. So
Do you guys
I don't
know any twins?
Yeah.
My cousins are twins.
Matt
Matt,
Nicassian,
One of our best
Oh,
friends.
that's dude. I'm
Sorry
fucking
to
stupid.
completely name
Yeah.
drop, but yeah, Matt. Our
We can
friend.
bleep out the last name, maybe.
I know
Um,
a good amount of twins. Well, I don't want to talk about them right now, but yeah.
just rich and twin friends over there, dude. You must be feeling.
Isn't it genetic?
Awesome.
Having twins is genetic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, they're
I'm pretty sure.
Yes,
just-
it's
yeah.
genetic.
If you keep passing down,
I don't even know how to answer that actually.
as in like, twins are more likely to have twins.
Let's get a
as
twin
their-
on the
as
phone.
their
Can I
next
call
spouse.
Matt right now and say, "Yo, how do twins
I'm
happen?"
try to get a hold of
Should
him.
we do
Yeah,
it?
Sure.
We can.
All right.
think,
We'll
Did
keep
you
going
give
while
your
try to
second
get a hold
one?
of him.
yeah, Mary Kate Olsen.
Okay, my
Call
Hold
him
on.
up.
We'll hold off. We'll hold
No,
off.
call him up.
We'll
Call-
ask
you can
after
call him.
the snake draft.
my next pick is Tom Brady.
Shit.
Oh,
you said
God
that
damn.
before.
Dude, I mean, he's already winning this snake draft.
Slinging
Two
the ball.
Insane picks.
What was your first one again?
Hunter S. Thompson.
and Tom Brady.
That's a
journalist.
crew, dude. Where are you gonna go with them?
Let me get all four, and then I'll tell you where we're
All right.
going.
Oh, you have a plan
okay.
set up. All these people have a plan. Okay.
Yeah.
I might need to think about this a little more.
Okay, my next pick is John Mayer. For obvious reasons.
What a douche.
I think
What
at
a
this
douche.
point I'm going for a basement concert.
We're
So,
I'm creating a band.
but like John Mayer, dude, just the most lovable guy.
I
would love
have
to,
heard that he's a douchebag. I have heard these things.
Okay,
allegedly.
well, sure.
But he's a shreds on the guitar.
Well, I'd like to
He
get
can
to
also
know him before I
freestyle.
jump to that conclusion. But yeah,
I heard
I'm
he's
sure
a
he can.
He can't do. I used to listen to this podcast called Harmontown. It was Dan Harmon's like live podcast. He would basically hold court with all of his writer friends, just friends in general, and they would improv, do these games, act out scenarios, all types of stuff. But there was like a stint where they were freestyling, and it was something that Dan really wanted to do, is learn how to freestyle and get past these crutches that you have. And crutches where like if you're freestyling, it's that one phrase that you always go back to. But anyway, John Mayer comes on, and it's during one of these like rap freestyling episodes, and he just comes up and just actually does really fucking good.
Yeah.
Can obviously
Freestyling?
freestyle very
Wow.
well. And Dan Harmon's just like, God damn it, like I brought you on and now I'm like too embarrassed to even, I wasn't
Do
expecting
anything.
you to be that good. Now I just don't even want to do it. And then, but like, it's funny, like real creative people like that generally seem to be good freestylers. That
Yeah,
they can
it's
they
true.
can pull ideas from their head, and it's working a similar muscle to what they usually work using their creativity in other
Yeah,
fields, whether
it's-
it be guitaring. It's improv. Like you can improv with the guitar. You
Yeah.
can improv when you write. You can improv when you freestyle. It's all.
I was just gonna
the
say,
same.
I think when I was reading through like the results of the test, improvisation was like a part of our strengths.
Being
Hey.
creative was being creative was
Yeah,
a thing.
but-
I think, yeah.
I heard
Improvisation.
Shia LaBeouf, and I don't know what personality trait he falls
He's
under.
Shia LaBeouf is actually
He can
my
freestyle.
personality.
Is he
but,
really?
Yo, Shia LaBeouf is canceled.
Oh
Unfortunately,
yeah, I did know that. Yeah,
Why?
He abused his
He
shit out of
beat
his
the
girlfriend.
shit out of FK Twigs.
Yeah, and he
We
like
don't
just straight up
condone.
admitted it.
We don't talk about Shia LaBeouf
but
anymore.
Not
Well,
good.
I'm just gonna.
We're going to talk about
I'm
him
gonna reel it
anyway.
back before those times.
Still a
before
damn
that
good
came to light.
freestyler.
Yeah, he had like the best fucking freestyle on Sway in the Morning.
Yeah.
And he did talk about how like that creative muscle, like a lot of people that are actors are really good freestylers. And he named a few. I think Bernthal was one of them.
Yeah, the dude he worked on Fury with,
Yeah.
the tank movie,
So I think there's some sort of flexing of the creative muscle that
without a doubt.
that
Shia
those people can
LaBeouf,
do.
dude.
And we've done some freestyling in our
Oh,
days.
I mean,
and we
not to
might-
brag, but we hot.
we kind
We
of hot
good.
with it.
Wait till
No,
we
I'm kidding.
drop the
But-
EP.
Yeah.
Um,
No, EP coming soon. Come.
Was that two? Did you pick two?
No, I'm about to pick my two. So
Okay.
my next one is going to be John Lennon. Shout out. Dude's a legend. Some would say the Beatle with all the fucking talent.
You don't think it was
Some might say.
Some might say. Died also tragically. Not by his own accord, but quite the story. I wish I could just give you a whole lot of stuff about John Lennon. Actually, no, you know what? I can. I watched a documentary by Ron Howard, actually, about the Beatles and how John Lennon actually was somebody who did not feel comfortable in his own skin at one point, and hence why you see his, like, almost, not drastic, I don't know what the timetable really was like in this change, but a very... And the Beatles as a whole, they were suit and tied up, very preppy, like boy band, and then they become this very psychedelic,
So, yeah, rock.
very free with their thoughts and progressive with their thoughts too. Taught us a few things or two in America. They came and toured in America in the South when segregation was still a thing, and they were like, "We're not gonna fucking play if there's segregation." So they were pushing boundaries of their time.
Damn
so
straight, dude.
Shouts out to fucking the Beatles and John Lennon. He's my second pick. And then I'm gonna go. Oh, go ahead.
Oh wait, I thought you already picked two.
No, I go to.
Oh, I was gonna
you
say
go
I
back.
have a picture of me walking across the
Abbey Road.
Oh,
yeah,
no
Abbey
way.
I
That's dope.
visited the studio. It's pretty cool.
It's dope.
It's literally in the middle of a fucking city beside a preschool. So that's
Sick.
kind of cool.
That's so dope. Third pick is going to be William Shakespeare. A lot of debate whether William Shakespeare is one person or if he's a conglomerate of several other people's writings. That's a conspiracy. I'm not going to put any truth on that or say where I fall, but his shit's just hot in the streets. Thousands, like, I don't know, not thousands, hundreds of years later.
How
it's
art
still
thou?
something we had to read. Shit is timeless. The legacy is undeniable. So say what you will about William Shakespeare. Whatever you think. Maybe that's a stupid pick, but I think, you know what? That's a good pick.
You could write
Number
a poem.
3.
Write a poem with him.
I like that pick. All right, I'm gonna move out of my.
I'm sorry. Just
You're
this
cool.
popped into my head.
Yeah.
How the fuck does anyone know what William Shakespeare's personality was? Dude, like, how the fuck? I'm down. I'm taking him. I'm claiming him. But
he took the
how?
test.
I know.
He took the test. You didn't see?
He took the test that was made in 1960, dude.
Holy fuck.
Think
I
it's
don't
even
honestly though,
before
like
that.
I'm
it's all
claiming him.
speculation.
I'm claiming him, but how the fuck does anyone know that?
He was born in
All right, Drew,
1564.
sorry to cut
No,
off,
it's-
but that
it's-
came into my head.
It's all good. I'm curious.
How
I
did
don't
this
know how
dude
the
take
fuck
it?
that happened. I'm gonna move out of my basement concert, and we're gonna move onto the court with Julius Irving.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Look out, dude.
Julius.
The
Dr.
reverse
J.
layup, dude. The fucking scoop.
Bro.
That shit, dude.
I'm
I
Is
just
that Dr. J, Julius
Dr.
Irving?
J.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
Julius Irving.
I was worried I said
fucking 76ers legend. Just the smoothest criminal on the court. I can't think of anyone who I'd rather hang with. I think than I like as a basketball player.
Shoot some-
Julius
Let
Irving.
him
Shoot some
teach you how to
balls.
dunk.
Yeah, dude. He could probably. He could.
Dude,
get my
I'm going to pick a
hopes up.
hooper, too.
Yeah, dude. So
Uh,
I'm happy with that third pick. Good mix of the bag here.
It's going to be the tallest guy in my squad. Mr. Anything is Possible, Kevin Garnett.
Ooh.
Shut your bitch ass up, pussy.
I'm
What do you
still
say from the
saving
fucking-
where we're going, but KG is definitely invited.
Shit. I like
Oh.
Ray Allen's not
Was
allowed
that-
to come.
was that a
Ray,
hint?
stay home.
Was that a hint? What you just said?
What?
He can definitely come.
No, that was not a hint. I mean, literally, like he's invited.
All right. We'll see.
What do you think we're doing?
I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it.
We
Sam,
can hold off. I'm curious what the fuck your little brigade is gonna be.
My
No,
Cole's
My
Cole's
full
brigade.
squad.
Yeah.
I know. No, I don't. I don't know.
He's got a basketball player. I was looking at porn stars with.
You want a porn star in your group?
I was just curious, to be honest with you. Like, what would you put Mia Khalifa? What would you label her personality as? You think?
How the fuck am I supposed to know?
How the
Don't
fuck
you
do
have a
they
list
know?
in front of you?
Oh, I just have a list of specific ones. But I was just curious with these porn stars. What are they? Introverts, extroverts? We need to know this information. But I'm gonna pick Edgar Allan Poe.
Ooh.
Poetry man. I really don't know that much about
The
him.
Raven. That's about all I that and they don't really like his death was a mystery. They
Yeah.
found last they saw him was in the street and he was just like inebriated, just out of his mind and just in bad shape.
But he's a good pick because then along with Mary Kay Olsen and who's my first pick?
Tim Burton.
And Tim Burton, we can maybe construct a nice little script, nice little piece that we can all star in.
I like that. See?
And I think, dude, to top it off, fuck it. We're going to go with, I already forgot his name. Hold on.
Jesus. Had that
Um,
set up so hard. And just
I
bailed.
blanked as soon as I was going to.
Fuck it.
I was going to go, I'll have a.
What'd I say?
When we go back, I'll have an honorable mention.
I've got a couple honorable mentions.
I'm going to go Andrew Garfield, the fucking Spider-Man, to top off our
it's like a
film.
pretty weird pick.
Because who doesn't love Spider-Man? I can just have him walk around my house in his Spider-Man suit.
Bad
And that
pick.
is not a kink of mine.
Hey, this is pretty cool. I'm sure some people have been seeing this on Instagram. That's where I just learned about it recently. But in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, the scene where he catches all of Mary Jane's stuff on the lunch tray, that wasn't CGI. It took 156 takes, and Tobey Maguire caught all of that stuff.
Isn't that crazy?
That's incredible.
It's impressive.
I love that.
All right, my final pick, though, the world famous, the lovely Jennifer Aniston.
Oh.
You lucky dog, dude.
Now, if you guys want to know what me and Hunter and Kevin, Jan and
Desperately, I need to know.
and TB12 are getting into,
Can
An
I
orgy.
guess?
An orgy.
take a guess.
Cookout.
That would be
It's
tight.
the perfect orgy.
No.
Oh.
We're going to the beach.
Hey. I'll write that down too. The beach.
When you said he's invited, my mind went to the cookout.
I mean,
why.
dude, I wish that I could plan an entire day, but like you guys only gave
Maybe
me.
you could cook out on the beach.
You
dude.
get
That's
an
what I was
activity.
thinking.
You get one activity.
We're
But I
going
think
to
the beach encompasses
We're going to the
cooking.
beach and we're gonna play soccer on the beach because all of us will be equally skilled at that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd love to see Jen Ann kick a soccer ball
I'll try to
around.
think of like a situation for my boys. My last pick is still shrouded in some controversy. but I'd like to sit down and talk with them specifically about the controversy, and that's Louis C.K.
Okay, I thought that's who you're
Yeah.
gonna say.
Yeah, I'll take Louis C.K. And I guess what we're gonna do
That's
is
a
we're
good
gonna
pick.
have a basketball game first. Pick up basketball, me and Dr. J versus those three. And then after that, we're going to go over to the stage and watch Louis perform and then top it off with the concert with John and Kurt.
Oh, can I do that for mine too?
No.
Okay, wait.
Only I.
Drew
Please
said
just
it
let me
first,
do it
bro.
real
No,
quick.
you're done.
All right, go for it.
Okay, me and KG, the same thing that you just said. Me and KG versus the other three in a pickup basketball game, and then after that game, everyone's super tired. Hunter S. Thompson is like tripping out on like a bunch of different drugs, and he's like, Jennifer, come with me. And then they go and they pick up food or whatever, and then me, KG, and Tom have a toss.
Wow.
And then as the night is winding down, we
kiss him on the
have a
mouth.
fire on the beach, and Hunter is like reading us poems, and me and Jennifer share a quick kiss.
No, you and Tom. He kisses you on the lips to sleep.
Well, yeah, Tom can kiss me too.
He just gives you a nice
It's
little
his
smooch.
fantasy, dude.
Yeah, this is my
I'm
day.
describing what Tom would do in your fantasy. I think he's kissing you on the lips.
Look, there's no way that I'm hanging out with Tom Brady and he doesn't kiss me. Fantasy or real life.
If I don't get a kiss from you, Tom, this is over. You're cut from the squad.
It's a requirement.
So
Can't
smooch
hang
me.
with us if you don't. I'm sorry.
All right,
I'm
so
happy with my squad.
you
I
had
like your. Sorry to steal your
But
bit.
Ethan's
too.
got his
Drew
last.
finishes with Louis
I
C.K.
love your squad.
I'm gonna
Thanks,
say for my final pick, I'm going. I did a lot of hard searching. I was actually not present in the last probably 3 minutes of conversation because I was sweating over here trying to figure out what I was gonna do. But you know what? I found somebody. I'm like, hell yeah, Bob Marley, baby. Let's
I didn't know
fucking
that.
go. Three Little Birds redemption song.
Damn,
Two of
I
my
wish I would've
favorite little
picked him.
jams to get going every now and then. I mean, talent is undeniable. Toe cancer will get you.
I'll trade you Mary Kate for Bob Marley.
No fucking way.
You don't want her, bro?
I'll take
Come
Andrew
on.
Garfield for a 10th round pick.
I'll take Andrew Garfield for a soggy tortilla.
I mean, that's your pick.
My honorable mention was Mr. Rogers.
Oh, I saw that one too. I was thinking about
Pretty
that,
good.
but I just didn't have. I was about to pick him, but I just didn't have any like connection with him. I was this close. That and I almost said J.K. Rowling as well.
Yeah.
But she's shrouded in controversy
Didn't
now.
she say
for-
the N-word
con-
or something?
No,
No,
not at
it's
all.
transgender rights.
Oh,
exactly.
transgender.
Which honestly, if just being completely serious about it and like mapping it out logically and biologically, there is an advantage that somebody who is biologically male playing in a women's league has, just based off
Advantages.
of
Okay, Joe Rogan.
I can only be what I learned from. Man.
I think
mean,
that was the start of the conversation with J.K. Rowling, but I think she went a little bit further.
see, yeah, I
with
don't
her-
know. The
I don't know
whole
the
story.
full content.
Ultimately, why I didn't pick her, and I'm rolling with Bobby.
I thought she said the
Marley.
N-word, so I was way off.
Yo, I got a sick honorable mention. It's Robin Williams, and me and him are
Wow.
going to the Bape store,
Oh
and he's
my
gonna buy
God.
me whatever I want.
He had the hardest fits. Have you seen his
yeah,
fits?
of course, dude. Robin Williams literally was
He looks too
God.
good, dude.
dripped out.
That's the
Um,
perfect honorable mention.
But yeah, I think we all found out a little bit about ourselves in the group that we'd hang out with.
I
if we
think that
could.
it was just like we all knew these truths about ourselves. It's just that further confirmation. And I was thinking about it walking up in here. It's just like, God damn, it's just gonna tell me everything that I hate about my fucking self, which is true to an extent. But then you can learn from
How do
the
you grow
things that
from
you
it?
dislike. Yeah, it was good. enjoyed
Everybody's
this
going to have those things that they don't like about themselves. Better to confront it than not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
curious about all the other ones, and if you take this,
Yeah, if we
fucking
could have had a
test, I
little
wanna
more
know.
diversity, that probably
Yeah,
would
that
have
would have been
helped.
interesting.
But
yeah,
I
we literally
still
are like
liked-
all the exact.
I mean,
same
none of us
thing.
are like doing heavy computations on a blackboard. Like we
Yeah.
think very just
Analytically,
yeah,
and-
99% think, 1% feel.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, yeah. Oh,
Is that
yeah,
Elon?
No, mine for thinking. And what was the one that was just stark as hell?
The 91%.
91 intuitive, 9% observant. So I'm just like saying, fuck what anybody's telling me. I'm not learning from anything else. It's all up in here already, up in the cranium.
Man already knows what's going on.
Which honestly is kind of a bad thing. Like, thinking back, I'm like, shit, maybe I should adjust these numbers moving forward a little
Let's
bit.
But then
spiral
don't.
more. Let's talk about all the things that make us suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you hate
No,
about
I'm just
yourself? My micro penis, I hate
my
about
height,
myself.
my weight, my shitty skin,
My ass isn't fat enough. My
All right.
micro
All right,
penis.
guys.
Okay,
Hey, well,
and
that
that
was
was
fun.
episode 13.
Shit.
That was a good one.
Unfortunately, so like I told you this weekend, I'm a big old fraud because I
Uh-oh.
haven't been picking a secret word.
Oh, that's,
This
I completely
week,
forgot
nobody
about it.
said the secret word. It was saxophone.
Ooh.
We got
we
close.
We could have got there with the
with the
celebs.
music and
I
stuff.
know.
I think
I
we
was-
could have gotten close.
I was really hoping for it. But yeah,
So who donates now? What is it?
no, it's supposed to be all of us, but so far I've donated $5 to the American Cancer
We
Society.
still got to donate
the
to
ass
COSI.
cancer.
And the Buffalo.
We pledged
Society.
money to
Yes.
The
COSI.
buffalo. I think if nobody guesses it, I don't think, or maybe I don't know. I think if nobody guesses it, we just keep it. Maybe it accumulates at that point.
Ooh.
Okay.
That could be good.
Or we just scrap the entire thing.
Or yeah, you
Yeah.
scrap it and then we just
Do
think of a
that.
new word every day, or maybe it gets even less. Maybe that's what it is. It gets less expensive the longer you go.
Let's theorize.
expensive.
off
I'm going
the
to try
pod.
one
I
more
don't know.
time next week. And if nobody says the secret word, then I'm a failure.
It's very situational.
You're a
F's in the
fraud.
chats,
mean,
fellas.
I couldn't agree more, dude. Couldn't agree more. I'm joking.
Now give me a KFC double down right now.
I'm
Give
still
me a mountain.
I'm still an
a mountain
unpaid
burger.
intern.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, keep an eye on the YouTube channel. Content coming.
Yeah,
Well, the
dude.
content will be out by the time you hear this, but
Oh,
more
perfect.
content is coming.
So
Perfect.
it's
The
our
first
content with
video.
Daniel. So if you already saw that interview, be on the lookout. There's some references in there. And thanks
was-
for tuning in, motherfuckers.
Yeah, I guess this will be.
This
out
was a
one
fun
day.
episode. I like
Uh,
this one, and ultimately, all of our personalities are why we're here together. So that's rad.
I'm gonna say I'm interested in what everybody else's is. So if you take the thing, fucking tell us.
Yeah, take that shit.
We will judge you the shit out of you.
Comment your 4 letters or
Yeah.
something.
Comment your alphabet
Yeah.
letters.
Anyway,
yeah.
fuck you. Thanks, guys.
Bye.